And hello and welcome to Ritter Arena here in Minneapolis. Dan Flanagan with you. Thank you so much for joining us on this snowy Monday evening. The final matchup of Day 1, the 2015 Schwan Cup Boys Gold Division, as it features the Edina Hornets, the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. And we get it underway with the opening face-off. The Cadets starting Vinny Capezza, a junior in goal. Jason Smolage, their senior captain, along with Blake Holmes on defense. Peyton Matsui, Ray Christie at wing. Billy Jerry, another captain, starts at center. The Cadets coached by Tom and Greg Vanelli, assisted by Rob Vanelli, Greg Monahan, Aaron Hoyland, Mark McCasey, and Joe Vanelli. Edina starting Charlie DeGrood, senior in goal. Luke Johnson starts on defense, along with Clayton Phillips, Brian Shearer, Ben Copeland, and Sam Walker up front for the Hornets. Kurt Giles, the head coach, Dave Langvin, Dave Terwilliger, Dick Blueston, and Josh Harding, his assistants. So the Cadets in white, the Hornets in green, as we are in the opening minute of play here. No score from Ritter Arena. The first round of this Gold Cup, St. Thomas Academy, the defending champions of the Gold Division, won it last year, number 16 in the Let's Play Hockey state rankings. The Cadets come in led by Billy Jerry in scoring with 9 goals, 17 points. They have won their last 3 games over Henry Sibley, Tartan, and Wyzetta, as the Cadets try to keep going on that win streak. Edina number 7 in the Let's Play Hockey rankings, coming off a win over St. Louis Park this past Saturday. Cadets have it in the corner with Tommy Dolan behind their own net. Giveaway and a pad save by Capezza. As a good shot on goal, Lewis Crosby, first scoring chance of the evening. Crosby gets a good shot on goal, but Capezza stands tall. Minute 30 in, no score. 2 shots on goal for St. Thomas, 1 for Edina. Winner of this game meets Minnetonka in the semifinals tomorrow at 7:30. The Skippers advance 3-2 over Centennial. In our previous game, also have seen Hill Murray defeat Wyzetta, Eden Prairie defeat Burnsville. Hill Murray 7-1 over Wyzetta, Eden Prairie 2-0. A shot on goal, rebound, score! Following the rebound that time for the Cadets was down the middle. And they are able to get it to go. On the rebound attempt, the Cadets take a 1-0 lead, minute 45 in. So St. Thomas Academy gets the first goal of the game. It was Rob Christie coming up with the goal for the Cadets on the rebound. Christie's 3rd goal of the season. As Cadets back with it in the middle. Jason Smolage getting one of the assists as well, along with Jake Hardy. Hardy getting the primary assist, so it's Christie from Hardy and Smolage for the Cadets. About a minute 45 in, they lead 1-0. Winner of this game gets Minnetonka. The loser plays at 2:30 against Centennial. Edina trying to go the other way now with Shearer. Bram Shearer up the left wing. Gets separated from the puck by Stucker. It's swung around to Matsui for the Cadets. Up ahead, and played in off sides by St. Thomas. 14:21 first period, a rebound goal for the Cadets, giving them a 1-0 lead. Captain Casey Dornbach will face it off for the Hornets against Chase Foley. Edina wins the draw. Played back to Mickelson. Jared Mickelson into neutral ice. Dumps it into the St. Thomas zone, giving chase is Ben Tucker. Tucker separated from it behind the goal. St. Thomas comes away with it as the Cadets will try to charge it forward with Matsui. It's played across to Smolage. Smolage into the neutral zone. Stretch pass completed to Josh Hollum. Hollum has it knocked away by Dornbach. It's checked in the corner by Calvin Pugh. Cadets trying to stay with it. Pugh takes it away behind the Hornet goal. His pass deflected. Getting a piece of that one was Tommy Dolan. Cadets pressuring with Chase Foley. Played back to the point for Jackson Sjogren. Sjogren trying to hold the zone. Had it taken away by Lewis Crosby. Now entering the offensive zone, Dornbach. Backhander is high and wide. And that'll ring around all the way back to center ice on the opposite end. Scooped up by Clayton Phillips for the Hornets. Back in his own defensive zone. He'll peel back. Phillips controlling. 13-15 first period. 1-0 St. Thomas Academy. Phillips skating it ahead with a change behind him. Dumps it in behind the goal. Capezza plays it the St. Thomas goalkeeper. Up ahead to Jake Hardy. Hardy trying to go cross ice. It was deflected by Ben Anderson. Played back into the Edina zone. And in offside, Robbie Stucker, as that had just crossed the blue line. Be a draw just outside the St. Thomas zone. About 4 minutes into this opening period, 1-0. St. Thomas Academy getting a goal, a minute 47 in. Rebound marker by Ray Christie. Edina wins the draw, plays it across for Clayton Phillips. Through neutral ice comes Ben Anderson. Anderson up the left wing, has it taken away by Stucker. Robbie Stucker getting it away for Ray Christie. His pass intercepted by Clayton Phillips. Phillips back into his own zone, plays it ahead for Ryan Moon. Moon will just dump it in as Edina completes a change. Stucker back in the defensive zone for St. Thomas Academy. He'll play it across to Wingus, his defensive partner. Picked up by Jake Hardy. Up the right wing is Jack Graveline. He has it taken away, and now back with it, Sam Walker. Walker going up right wing for Edina. Tries to play it across to Bram Shearer. And that was deflected. We get a whistle. Stopping play with 12:14 remaining in the opening period. 1-0 St. Thomas Academy. And the net had become partially dislodged. The official taking care of that. Get a face-off to the left of Cadet goalkeeper Vinny Capezza. Controlled by St. Thomas. Smallage plays it behind the goal for Blake Holmes. Holmes up ahead. Skating through neutral ice was Billy Jerry, the Cadets' leading scorer. He'll dump it in. Pressuring was Tommy Dolan. Dolan has it knocked away by Bram Shearer. Now scooped up Peter Tabor in the Hornet zone. Taken away. Smallage shot on goal. Pad save made by DeGrude. Steers the rebound to the corner. Cadets sticking with it. Centering play. Jerry unable to get a shot away. Now in front, and DeGrude's able to freeze. Billy Jerry just could never get clean control. St. Thomas Academy has had the better of the pressure just over 5 minutes in. They lead it 1-0, out shooting the Hornets 5-1. As we'll get a face-off to the right of DeGrude. Casey Dornbach drawing against Chase Foley for St. Thomas. Edina doing pretty good on draws in the early going. Luke Johnson plays it ahead to Ben Tucker. Out of his defensive zone, Smallage back to scoop it up for the Cadets. His pass intercepted by Luke Johnson. He'll dump it in. Now with it was Dolan for St. Thomas. Holding the zone, Clayton Phillips for the Hornets momentarily, but it's sent by him, and back to pick it up, Luke Johnson, the Hornet defender. He gives it away. Shot goes wide of the goal from St. Thomas. Opposite corner, picked up by Robbie Stucker. Stucker skating down low, tries to center. DeGrude didn't see it. It was sitting in the crease. Clayton Phillips able to pick it up for the Hornets. They rush the other way in green. Dornbach with a 3-on-1. Plays it out for Lewis Crosby. His shot steered aside by Capezza. And we get a whistle behind the play. Again, the net coming a little bit loose. Some issues with that goal that Edina's shooting at exactly 6 minutes in. 1-0 St. Thomas Academy. We'll get a face-off in the offensive zone for the Hornets. Ryan Moon will take it for them. Moon nearly pulled it back, but on it first, Jack Graveline for the Cadets. Graveline trying to stick with it, gives it up to Peter Tabor. Tabor plays it across Calvin Pugh. In the neutral zone, it was Jet Jungles unable to control it. Now Tabor back with it for the Hornets. Tabor will dump it in on goal. Capezza just steering it aside, trying to get it over to Jake Hardy. Hardy gives it up, however. Jungles getting in there for the Hornets. He emerges momentarily, now tied up by Hardy. Jungles and Hardy battle for control. Joining in Ryan Moon of Edina, but it is Hardy coming away with it. He'll play it across to Jack Graveline for the Cadets. Separated from it by Garrett Malmquist of Edina. Now back in the neutral zone, Jungles has been out there for a while. He'll dump it in. Jungles still giving chase. 4 players changing behind him. Smallage has it for St. Thomas. He'll play it back to Luke Johnson defensively. Into the neutral zone, stepping up was Blake Holmes, able to tap it in. And the Cadets come in offside. No penalties thus far. 9:59 first period. 1-0 St. Thomas Academy. Cadets out shooting Edina 6-3. Draw one by the Hornets. Johnson playing it across for Clayton Phillips. Back to Johnson. Luke Johnson will get it into the neutral zone for Ben Copeland. Copeland trying to skate it in, but the Hornets in offside. Both teams having a bit of trouble at the blue line. We'll get a face-off just outside the Edina offensive zone. Dan Flanagan with you here from Ritter Arena in Minneapolis, campus of University of Minnesota. Final game of day one, the Schwan Cup Boys Gold Division. 1-0 St. Thomas Academy early on. The Cadets win the draw. Play it through the neutral zone where it's picked up by Clayton Phillips of Edina. Now up the wing, it's Bram Shearer playing it opposite corner. Back defensively is Holmes for the Cadets, but he gives it up. Holmes trying to get back at it along with Smallage, picked up by Copeland for Edina. Copeland trying to find a teammate. It's played down low for Sam Walker. Walker trying to get free behind the net, looking for spacing, thought about a wraparound. Instead, he'll play the point to Luke Johnson. Johnson's shot blocked by Smallage, unable to clear initially, but then gets help from Matsui to get it out of the zone. St. Thomas will execute a change, pass too far for Ben Copeland. Capezza steers it aside for Holmes, and now Smallage the other way, the St. Thomas captain. He'll play it all the way through, deflected in by Josh Hollum to avoid an icing. Hollum fanned on a shot along the half wall, now gets it back in the corner. Hollum trying to peel free from Clayton Phillips, lost it. And it's picked up by Jared Mickelson of the Hornets, who plays it up ahead for Ben Tucker. Skating through the zone, Casey Dornbach 2-on-1. Big slapper goes wide. And then unable to get to the rebound, Lewis Crosby for the Hornets. Back to the blue line, picked up by Jared Mickelson. Pad save, Capezza. Goes into the opposite corner for Peter Tabor. Hornets starting to apply some pressure. And we do get a whistle now with 8:25 remaining in the opening period, about midway through. 1-0 St. Thomas. They've controlled the play in the early going. And we're going to get a penalty here on the Cadets. First penalty of the game as Josh Hollum heads to the box. And we'll get an Edina power play. See what the call is. Sam Walker will take the draw against Billy Jerry. Walker for the Hornets. St. Thomas does win it back to Holmes. Hallam getting called for interference. At 8:25, shot goes wide from Sam Walker. Rebound played it back out to Dornbach. One-timer wide of the goal from Clayton Phillips. Held in the zone by Edina. It's Dornbach in the center. Screen shot, saved by Capezza. Rebound was steered just away from Walker. Tries to center. Capezza down on the ice. Shot goes wide from Phillips. Edina pressuring, unable to get one in yet. Dornbach thought about a drive from the point. One-timer partially fanned on by Copeland. It goes wide of the goal. Picked up opposite side by Phillips. Edina holding the offensive zone. First 50 seconds of this power play. Jerry finally gets on it for St. Thomas. He'll clear. Allow the rest of his killers to head to the bench. Edina heading the other way now with Clayton Phillips down a goal. 7:23 first period. Just under a minute left on their power play. They dump it in. Giving chase was Ben Copeland. Copeland coming away with it was Walker. Walker to the front. Had it knocked away. It's picked up by Chase Foley for St. Thomas, and he'll clear. All the way back in on goal. DeGrude steers it over to Dornbach of Edina. Dornbach will bring it up the center, skating right. As he gets sent into the boards by Stucker, separated from the puck, picking it up. Vlahosavic picked back up by Copeland for Edina. Out to Dornbach, looking for a lane. One-timer, pad save Capezza as it came off the stick of Phillips. Scooped up by Stucker, and he'll get it out of the zone. Just 13 seconds left on the Hornet power play. Dornbach seeing if he can get one last rush. His pass off the mark for Phillips. He and Dornbach have been out there essentially the entire power play. Dornbach plays it ahead for Ben Tucker into the zone. Out of the box, Hallam as the penalty time expires. Just held in the zone by Jungles. He'll skate in, backhander save. Rebound partially blocked, and then the shot goes wide from Lewis Crosby. St. Thomas thought that was offsides. It stayed in the zone. Now a pad save Capezza on the shot by Mickelson. Edina continuing to pressure after their power play. Crosby behind the goal. Shot save again off the stick of Tabor. Tabor able to hold it in. And now finally scooped up by Hardy for St. Thomas. He'll get it out, but sent right back in the zone by Jared Mickelson. Capezza behind the goal will play it over to Hardy. Lost it, though, to Tabor. Tabor dumps it back in. Behind the net is Jet Jungles. Loose in front. And we're going to get another whistle here as, again, the net gets dislodged. St. Thomas will take that as Edina was pressuring quite a bit. Edina has taken the last 6 shots of this game. St. Thomas was out shooting them 5-1 early. Now 9-6 Hornets, but still 1-0 St. Thomas in the goal column. The Cadets trying to withstand some pressure. Losing it along the boards was Graveline. Back to Tabor at the point. His shot goes wide past the glove of Capezza, and now finally scooped up by Hardy. He'll skate it all the way into the offensive zone. Get a check from Mickelson. Back for it, Tabor of Edina. He'll play it around looking for Osterreich. Picked up by Christie of St. Thomas, but lost it, and now Osterreich up the wing will dump it in. Giving chase as Wingus was able to play it over towards Smallage. Loose in front, back to the point for Luke Johnson. Trying to connect with Osterreich, pass off the mark. Smallage will get it ahead for Graveline. Graveline, his clearing attempt deflected and not out. Hardy plays it back, and now Smallage will finally golf it out of the zone where it's gloved and dropped by Clayton Phillips. St. Thomas is able to change. Right back in the zone is Shearer, trying to cut to the middle, and his shot was deflected up over the boards. We'll get another whistle. Down to 4:38 remaining here in the opening period. Haven't had too many whistles, just the one penalty going against St. Thomas, which did give Edina some momentum, but the Cadets still lead it 1-0. Face off to the right of the Cadet goaltender, Capezza. It's won by St. Thomas. Stucker has it. Stucker trying to clear the zone. He lost it again to Copeland. Copeland centering, couldn't connect. Stucker finally gets it for St. Thomas. Cadets having all kinds of trouble clearing the zone. They finally get it to Jerry, who's able to play it for Christie. And then sent back to Copeland. Copeland up the wing for Edina. Drop pass, Shearer. Shearer plays it across. Shot goes just wide off the stick of Copeland. Picked that back up by Smallage. He's unable to clear as Phillips holds it in, but then losing it to Matsui. Matsui will rush 1 against 2 and lost the handle. It's picked back up by Ben Copeland for Edina. Played ahead, Bram Shearer. Toward the wing, Shearer absorbs a big hit from Holmes. Comes back toward DeGrood, but that's going to go for icing as St. Thomas ices the puck. Edina will get an offensive zone draw. 3:45 remaining in the opening period. St. Thomas Academy hanging on to a 1-0 lead. Casey Dornbach will draw for the Hornets against St. Thomas's Chase Foley. Dornbach won it initially, now giving chase behind the goal. Lewis Crosby trying to center. Smallage steers it aside, had some help from Tommy Dolan of St. Thomas. Back to the point for Calvin Pugh. His shot blocked by Dolan, and all the way back into the Edina defensive zone. Jared Mickelson picks it up for the Hornets. Mickelson losing it, though, to Hallam, tries to center, but that's taken away by Dornbach. 3-on-2 for the Hornets, good at the line. Up the wing, shot goes behind the goal from Crosby. Now back to the point. Deflection, pad save by Capezza. Another pad save on the rebound from Dornbach. And St. Thomas clears. That's going to be another icing, though. As the Cadets under all kinds of pressure. Crosby had a great deflection in front of the goal. Capezza just had the pad down and able to make a couple saves. Vinny Capezza has not been the primary goalkeeper for St. Thomas. Atticus Kelly has actually seen more minutes. Capezza coming in with an .825 save percentage, the backup, but he's stopped all 11 shots thus far from Edina. Skating it out of the zone is Wingus ahead to Christie, who has the game's only goal. Centers for Wingus. Shot stopped by DeGrood. Wingus, and then on the rebound, Christie stopped as well. Centering play taken away by Evan Shoemaker, and Edina gets it out of the defensive zone. Trying to get there was Shoemaker. Couldn't get around Jake Hardy. St. Thomas back with the puck. Is skating it up is Ray Christie. Christie into the offensive zone. Absorbs a hit from Luke Johnson. Sticks with it. Centering play, though, picked up by Sam Walker. He'll skate it into the offensive zone. Walker's sharp angle will peel off as Smallage was back on him. Walker making moves, goes behind the goal. And losing it to Christie behind the net. He'll play it up ahead for Jack Graveline. Gets it out of the zone. Phillips right back on it. He'll dump it back in as Kapetsa steers it toward Matsui. He fanned on it, though, and Shearer right back on it for Edina. And then it's sent into the seats. It was deflected. Face-off will stay in the offensive zone for Edina. Just under 2 minutes remaining first period. Minute 56 to be exact. 1-0. St. Thomas Academy getting outshot 11-7. Ben Copeland will draw for Edina against Billy Jerry. As Edina wins it, shot goes off the equipment of Kapetsa and then sent back out. Shearer there for Edina. Shearer has it taken away by Matsui. He'll play it back for Stucker. Stucker off of Jerry in the neutral zone. Jerry takes a hit up high. No whistle there. St. Thomas calling for one, but Sjogren on it for the Cadets. He lost it. Picked up by Walker. He scores! Sam Walker getting free in the slot. Edina had been controlling the last 8-9 minutes, and they finally get one by Vinny Kapetsa, tying the game at 1. The goal comes at 15:31 for the Hornets. As Ray Christie had scored the goal for St. Thomas from Hardy and Stucker earlier. We'll wait for the call on this one, but minute 25 first period, 1-1. So Walker gets the goal. Edina right back on the pressure. Ben Copeland will get the primary assist. It is Walker from Copeland at 15:31, icing on St. Thomas with 1:04 remaining in the period. 7th goal of the year for Walker, now tied for second on the team. Copeland will pick up his 8th assist on the season. So Edina had been controlling play, and they have now tied this game at 1, 1:04 remaining in the opening period. Billy Jerry draws for the Cadets against Casey Dornbach. Edina wins it back to the point for Phillips. His shot blocked and sent out of the zone. It's picked up by Phillips, though, for the Hornets with less than a minute remaining in the opening period. St. Thomas trying to get back on the pressure. Matsui into the offensive zone looking for Jerry. He gets a backhander away. Tough angle, though, and a glove save by DeGrood. He'll hold. Face-off in the Edina zone. 47 seconds remaining, opening period. St. Thomas Academy and Edina tied at 1. Final game of day 1 here of the boys' gold division. Peyton Matsui, the offensive zone draw for the Cadets against Ben Copeland. Matsui trying to win it back. Sticks with it, but finally lost the puck to Luke Johnson. Johnson will play it ahead for Shearer. Shearer up the wing. His shot partially blocked by Smallage goes wide. Held in, though, by Mickelson. Mickelson plays it down low for Walker, who just scored for Edina. Lost control. Shearer picks it up. And we'll get a whistle here with 26 seconds remaining in the opening period. Believe we got a hand pass called against Sam Walker. So the face-off will come all the way down into the Edina zone. Draw will be taken by Chase Foley for St. Thomas against Ben Copeland. Final minute of this first period, Edina wins the draw back to Jared Mickelson. Shearer sends it back to defenseman Luke Johnson, playing it across for Mickelson. Mickelson got it back from Walker, gets it over to Johnson. Edina content to run down the final seconds of this first period. Now getting in there is Hallam, just 5 seconds left in the period. Poking it out of the zone is Walker, and that'll do it for period number 1 here in Minneapolis. St. Thomas got an early goal, 1:30 in from Ray Christie. But then at 15:31, it was Sam Walker for the Hornets. And after a period, it is 1-1, tied up between St. Thomas Academy and Edina. The Hornets outshooting the Cadets 12-8 in that opening frame. So we'll be stepping away for about 10-15 minutes here as period 1 complete, tied at 1 between St. Thomas Academy and Edina. Stick around. We'll be back for the second period in just a little bit. You're watching the 2015 Schwan Cup Boys Hockey Gold Division here on nscsports.org. Is this one the dial here? Is this the volume dial here? final matchup of day one, the 2015 Schwan Cup Gold Division for the boys. We thank you for watching here on nscsports.org. St. Thomas Academy coming in number 16 in the state, Edina at number 7. And tied at 1 after the first period. Edina did control play, especially in the last 10 minutes or so of that frame. They out-attempted St. Thomas in terms of total shots, 25-9. They got 12 of their 25 on goal with the 1 goal. St. Thomas, 8 of their 9 going on net with the 1 goal. St. Thomas Academy scoring at 147. It was Rob Christie. Rob Christie getting his 3rd goal of the year in his 4th game, assisted by Jake Hardy and Jason Smallage. Edina, after a lot of pressure, would answer at 15:32. Sam Walker with his 7th of the year from Ben Copeland. 1 penalty in the period. It was an interference call on Josh Hallam of the Cadets. So St. Thomas Academy going right to left in white for this second period. Pass getting through the legs of Holmes, and right on it, Sam Walker. Able to separate him, though, is Smallage with a good stick, and he'll find an outlet with Matsui. His pass across deflected, sent back the other way by Luke Johnson. St. Thomas unable to hold the zone, and now skating it up, Clayton Phillips. Lugs it through the zone, into traffic, and leaves for Sam Walker. Walker playing it behind the goal, picked up by Ben Copeland, tries to center. Matsui on it for St. Thomas. Billy Jerry will skate it up the left wing. Around Phillips, power move, save DeGrude. Rebound, score! No, they're going to wave it off, I believe, and say that DeGrude was interfered with. Peyton Matsui picked it up the rebound and put it in. Billy Jerry, a strong move to the net, and I think they're actually going to say the net had come dislodged. This happened quite a bit in the first period when Edina was shooting at that goal. The net had come off its mooring, so Matsui's goal immediately waved off by the official. And still 1-1, 16-19 second period. Billy Jerry, though, the leading scorer for the Cadets with 9 goals, 17 points. A strong move, nearly got St. Thomas their 2nd goal of the game. They'll have Chase Foley draw it in the offensive zone against Casey Dornbach. Wins it back for Stucker. Shot on and a glove save by DeGrude. Knocks it down. So a couple early saves here for Charlie DeGrude, the senior goaltender, who is seen pretty much all the time in net for Edina. Just 1 period played by Josh Solomon. Otherwise, it's been DeGrude this year. Edina now takes it out with Lewis Crosby up the left wing. Crosby behind the goal, defended by Sjogren. Now gets tied up by Chase Foley. Battle in the corner. St. Thomas emerges with it with Tommy Dolan. Dolan unable to control Stucker. His pass across went off the net. Now gets it back. Foley will play it to Dolan. Getting it out of the zone is passed too far for Hallam. And Phillips has it defensively for Edina. His pass, though, intercepted by Dolan. Dolan will play it down low for Hallam. Reverses it back for Dolan. Centers, but no one home. And lugging it out of the zone is Tucker for Edina. Playing it across for Crosby. He'll dump it in. Ben Tucker, the first man there for the Hornets. Separated, though, and Hallam will get it out of the zone. St. Thomas needs a change. That 5's been out there for a while. Back defensively is Mickelson for Edina. Mickelson holds it about 3 minutes into the second period. Tied at 1. Pass ahead for Shoemaker. Nearly taken away by Rob Christie. And now Osterreich into the zone. His shot off the glove of Capezza. Opposite end. Unable to control it, Ryan Moon. Rob Christie lugs it out. Christie trying to get it back from Jack Graveline. He'll chase it in the corner, but lost it to Ryan Moon. Moon tied up by Jake Hardy. Graveline getting in there for St. Thomas behind the goal. Graveline and Mickelson collide in the corner. Puck still free. Now Rob Christie does get it out to Smallage at the point. His shot blocked in front. Battling for it. Tabor had blocked it. Then the rebound sent wide by St. Thomas. Hardy plays it to Rob Christie. Centering play, couldn't get much on the shot. Graveline, it goes well wide. He absorbed a hit as well. Smallage does hold it in. St. Thomas sustaining about as much pressure as they've had all night, but now Smallage does lose it to Tabor. He's got a potential 2-on-1. Playing it across for Shoemaker. And a sharp angle shot. Looking behind him, there was Capezza, but he did have it in the glove. Didn't quite secure that post on the short side, but luckily for him, the puck found his mitt. And we stay tied at 1 about 3 minutes into the second period. Edina out shooting St. Thomas 14-10 in terms of shots on goal. Ben Copeland draws for the Hornets against Billy Jerry. Jerry wins it over to Stucker for St. Thomas. And now played ahead to Jerry. He'll try to get it opposite side for Ray Christie. Edina gets it back, though, over to Phillips. Phillips ahead for Walker, who scored the Hornets' goal. Sent up for Bram Shearer. Back with it is Luke Johnson. Phillips over for Copeland into the offensive zone. Makes a move on Holmes. Copeland behind the goal looking for help. Trying to play to the point for Phillips. Matsui took it away. Back out into neutral ice. Luke Johnson was there. Phillips back to Johnson. 13:25 second period. Tied at 1. Stepping up was Stucker for St. Thomas. Jerry able to poke it into the offensive zone. Phillips right back on it over to Johnson, and now Copeland the other way. This 5 for Edina's been out there for a while. Defenseman off for a change as Stucker goes back for the Cadets. Lost his footing, and they're going to say he was helped to the ice. I believe we're going to get our first penalty of the night against the Hornets. We will, as I believe they're calling a slash here. 13:06 second period, tied at 1. No one going over to that box. The official, I think it was Ben Copeland that committed the penalty. And now it is Copeland skating over to the box. So it took a little while. He went back to his bench. But they do call the penalty here at 4:54 the second period. First power play for the Cadets. They have Chase Foley with the offensive zone draw. So Copeland goes for slashing. Holmes at the point for St. Thomas. Hallam. And now with it is Holmes. He'll play it over to Jackson Sjogren. Shot goes wide. Behind the goal now is Foley. Foley playing it to Hallam at the half wall. Back for Foley. Hallam has it again. Looking to center. It was deflected and picked up by Lewis Crosby for Edina. He'll skate it out of the zone. Sjogren right back on it. About 30 seconds into the penalty. Hallam trying to get some spacing for St. Thomas. 12:27 second period, tied at 1. Hallam over to Holmes. Cadets trying to get on the rush as Foley goes up the wing, but had it taken away by Mickelson. He'll send it right back in. Trying to get there, Sjogren. Good pressure from Crosby, and now finally out of the zone is Holmes for St. Thomas, ahead to Jerry. Jerry into the zone with speed up the right wing. Goes behind the goal. Jerry trying to stay with it, but he lost it. Very effective kill thus far for Edina. Minute 10 in. St. Thomas hasn't really gotten any pressure toward the goal. Spent a lot of time in their defensive zone. Trying to skate through again is Stucker. Ahead for Jerry on the wing. Back to Stucker. Can't connect with Jerry. It's taken away by Phillips, and Edina the other way. They've got a possible 2-on-1 if they hurry. Walker across for Tucker, and his shot just sticked aside by Capezza. Edina's had more pressure on this power play. Just 22 seconds left for St. Thomas. Matsui will play it into neutral ice. Phillips knocking it away from Jerry. Edina right back on it. The Hornets' kill has looked fantastic as Walker will send it in toward the goal. Just 10 seconds left on the power play. Back is Stucker for the Cadets. Will play it ahead to Rob Christie. Trying to get around Johnson as the Hornets go back to full strength. Copeland out of the box. Stucker at the blue line for St. Thomas. Shot getting a piece of it was DeGrude as it goes wide. Went off his shoulder. And now Edina the other way. Phillips up the wing. Picked back up by Smallage for St. Thomas Academy. And now Hardy on it. Losing an edge was Stucker. He gets tangled up with Bram Shearer. Finally gets it away to Hardy. And now Rob Christie in neutral ice for the Cadets. Christie up the left wing. He lost the handle on it. Phillips, it was taken away by Ray Christie. Couldn't get a clean shot away, and Phillips back on it for Edina. Plays it ahead to Crosby. Crosby back for Dornbach. Dornbach, shot on goal, knocked down. Capezza still loose in front, and able to steer it aside was Rob Christie. Now Hardy on it for St. Thomas. Crosby trying to continue the pressure. Out to the point, shot by Mickelson, and that is frozen by Capezza. Dornbach was trying to get in there. A couple shots on goal for the Hornets. Out shooting St. Thomas 16-11, but we stay tied at 1. 10:09 remaining in this second period. No goals yet in this frame. St. Thomas couldn't do much with a power play. Ryan Moon drawing in the offensive zone for Edina against Rob Christie. Christie now gets thrown out of the circle, and taking the draw will be Jake Hardy. Won by Edina. They were 11 of 20 on draws in the first period, Edina was. Garrett Malmquist trying to get there, runs into Smallage. Smallage will play it over to Holmes for the Cadets. Now up ahead, it's Graveline. Getting it to Rob Christie. Deflected away, Smallage back on it for the Cadets. To his defensive partner, Holmes. Pressuring that time for Edina was Tabor. Right back into the St. Thomas defensive zone. Smallage hassled by Jungles. He's able to skate away. Gets it ahead to Hardy. Hardy will play it across for Holmes. He's been out there for a while. Collides heavily with Malmquist along the boards. Edina gets back on it. Jungles entering just offside as Moon was in ahead of him. And the face-off will come just outside the Edina zone. 9:26 remaining in the second period. St. Thomas and Academy and Edina tied at 1. Winner gets Minnetonka in the semifinals tomorrow at 7:30. Loser plays at 2:30 in the consolation bracket against Centennial. Taking the face-off, Ben Copeland for Edina, Billy Jerry for St. Thomas. Won by the Cadets, back to Stucker. Across for Sjogren. Sjogren will play it off the boards to Matsui. Lost it immediately to Phillips in neutral ice. Ray Christie with a hit. Now Matsui and Jerry a 2-on-1. Jerry gets the shot away. Saved. Rebound off the post. It hit off the inside of the right post from Billy Jerry. He's had a couple bids for a goal, he and Matsui. And now this one played into the seats. 9:01 remaining second period. Matsui actually got one in the net, but it was right after the net had been dislodged. Jerry getting an explanation from the official as that did not miss by much. Didn't hear that customary ping off the goalpost, but the official right there saying it hit off the inside of the pipe, never crossed the line on the rebound attempt by Jerry. Still tied at 1. Off the draw, Ray Christie saved to Grude, and Jerry couldn't get much on the rebound. Ray Christie plays it back to the point for Stucker. Stucker making a move on Crosby. Shot from the point was knocked down by DeGroot off the stick of Ray Christie. St. Thomas holding it in. Matsui toward the goal. Wraparound attempt, loose in front, and Edina just able to steer it aside with Calvin Pugh. Sustained pressure by the Cadets. Ray Christie tied up in the corner by Pugh. Plays it opposite side. Jerry will get there first for St. Thomas. Trying to go back to the point, but he lost it, and now out of the zone it's Crosby. Taken right back by Stucker. Jerry right back in the offensive zone as the Hornets can't change. Now they do finally get it to Crosby. Dornbach had come on the ice on a change, but he was a little over-anxious as he comes in offside. Just past the midway point of this game, 8:15 second period. St. Thomas and Academy and Edina still tied at 1. Face off here, Moon against Foley. Won by the Hornets cleanly as Mickelson controls it. Deflected away momentarily by Dolan, now tied up near the boards. Dolan emerges for St. Thomas, lost it immediately to Shoemaker. Back is Hallam playing it to Smallage. Smallage will peel back from Osterreich, and now Smallage gets around Osterreich again, up the right wing, into the offensive zone, fakes the slapper, now sends a shot wide. Opposite end held in by Holmes. He'll play it behind the goal. Having time is Tabor, and they'll get it out of the zone with help from Osterreich. Osterreich now skates it in, back for Shoemaker. Osterreich, no one home as he played it across. Tabor back on it for the Hornets, couldn't get much on the shot, and Foley grabs it for St. Thomas up the wing. Taken back by Mickelson. Smallage has it for the Cadets. He'll loft it into the zone, pass to Grude. Mickelson goes back for Edina. 7:15 first period, tied at 1. Hornets a slim margin in shots, 16-14. Mickelson will play it to Walker. Sam Walker with the Edina goal on the night. Stucker immediately lost it to Tabor. He'll skate in. Sharp angle, knocked down by Capezza as he got the shot in. Walker giving chase to the rebound. Stucker separated him. Now wings on it for the Cadets. Stucker trying to get it to Hardy. Hardy finds some space. Chipping it ahead to Wingus. Rob Christie couldn't get it cleanly in the zone. Mickelson back on it. Ahead for Walker. Walker skates in. Trying to pass it across. Couldn't quite connect with Copeland. Goes back to the point. Shot just wide from Luke Johnson. And on it for St. Thomas is Stucker. His pass too far for Rob Christie. Phillips will send it right back in. Stucker there. Teams change as Stucker plays it ahead to Graveline. He'll send it in on goal. Easily steered aside by DeGrude. Up ahead for Shearer. And now picking it up, Copeland for the Hornets. Copeland blockered aside by Capezza. It actually bounced in front of the goal, but St. Thomas, luckily for them, was there. And now Ray Christie the other way across from Matsui. He's been involved in a couple chances. Lost it, though, to Phillips. 5:53 second period, tied at 1. Up the right wing now, it's Copeland making a move. Separates, shot blocked, and on it Matsui. Up ahead for Jerry. Jerry's pass too far for Smallage. And icing waved off is back to play at Johnson. Now gets it across for Phillips. Phillips back to Johnson as he'll play it over to Shearer. Shearer getting it to Walker. Knocked away momentarily by Holmes. Right back on it is Johnson off of Shearer. Shearer deflected by Matsui. Smallage giving chase for St. Thomas, pressured by Dornbach. Holmes will play it around for Matsui. Able to get it to Jerry before taking a hit. Jerry up the left wing, moves to the middle, trying to stick with it, but lost it to Tabor. Now Dornbach, partial breakaway. Matsui trying to get back, ties him up for a penalty. And we'll see if they grant a penalty shot there. Dornbach, it was a partial break. I think they're just going to say a hold on Peyton Matsui. It will be the second power play of the night for the Hornets. The penalty comes at 12:04 of the second period. Wasn't quite a clean breakaway. 4:56 second period, tied at 1. Edina failed to score on their power play in the first period. They did get substantial pressure and scored their goal a couple minutes later. They'll draw it here with Lewis Crosby against Josh Hollum. So holding called on Matsui. Mickelson was unable to hold it in the zone for the Hornets. Back defensively is Tabor. Or rather, make that Luke Johnson. He'll wait behind his net. Johnson about 20 seconds in the power play. Plays it to Mickelson up the right wing, but he lost it at the line. And now back is Crosby for the Hornets. 18-15, Edina the edge in shots. Game tied at 1, 4:23 second period. Right wing now, it is Mickelson. Again, unable to enter the zone. St. Thomas doing a good job defending the blue line. Johnson back again for the Hornets behind his goal. 45 seconds into the power play. Gets it back to Mickelson. This time he'll dump it in. Capezza trying to steer it to Sjogren, and he'll clear it out. Edina having trouble getting clean entries all the way back to DeGrude. And Phillips back this time for Edina. Phillips up the middle. Again goes back to the right wing. This time it's Dornbach. Dornbach will skate it into the corner. Behind the goal. Dornbach still controlling it. Now plays it to Phillips. Right back to Dornbach. The Edina captain waits. Phillips at the half wall. Nearly lost it to Graveline. Maintains control. Dornbach once again. Watched by Hardy. Phillips will play it this time for Walker. Trying to make a move on Smallage. Down low for Copeland. Copeland with 30 seconds left on the power play. Dornbach over to Walker. Smallage watches. Walker making a move in. It's Copeland playing it across, but couldn't quite connect with Mickelson. Rather, that was Phillips. Now Phillips gets it back from Walker. Phillips at the blue line. Copeland sending it across. Couldn't connect with Walker, and it's sent out. Just 10 seconds left on the Edina power play. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the second period. Power play about to expire as Shearer skates it in. Ray Christie didn't see it initially. Matsui out of the box. Walker, though, making a move, has Capezza down, trying to connect with Shearer, couldn't. Shearer now has it back in the corners. Capezza back to his feet. Dornbach, Edina trying to, again, pressure off the power play like they did when they got their goal in the first period. Walker down low for Dornbach, fanned on it, picked up, though, by Copeland. Copeland will play it in the corner. To the point looking for Phillips. Matsui, though, intercepts. Now Matsui with a partial break. He gets interfered with, brings it in, stopped by DeGrude, and we'll get a penalty on Edina. So turnabout fair play. Peyton Matsui committed a holding penalty just a couple minutes ago, trying to stop a breakaway. Then Matsui gets a break of his own, and he gets tied up by Clayton Phillips for a penalty as he was slashed at the line. Second power play for St. Thomas Academy. Comes just minutes after Edina had theirs. The penalty comes at 14:37 of the second period. A slash against Phillips. So St. Thomas didn't do anything with their first power play, trying to establish some pressure here. Smallage holds it in at the line. Able to play it to Ray Christie. Back to Smallage, just held it in. Smallage, shot knocked down and frozen by DeGrood. As not much traffic in front. He was able to see that one all the way from the blue line. 2:10 remaining here in the second period. St. Thomas Academy and Edina tied at 1. Billy Jerry will draw for the Cadets to the right of DeGrood. Against him is Lewis Crosby. Wins the draw to Matsui. Smallage at the line. Plays it for Stucker. Smallage couldn't connect with Matsui. And it's cleared out by Crosby for the Hornets. Down to Capezza behind his goal. And he'll steer it ahead to Matsui. Pass was out of his reach, though. Mickelson plays it right back in for Stucker. Stucker in the defensive zone. About 40 seconds into the power play. Stucker skates it in himself, trying to make a move on Tabor. Dumps it in. Ray Christie giving chase. Back to the point for Smallage. Smallage will try to set up. He was pressured by Tucker. Smallage gets it back from Ray Christie. To Matsui. Centers for Christie. Trying to get it to Jerry. Couldn't. Now has it back behind the goal. Ray Christie looking for Smallage at the point. Across for Stucker. Right back. Smallage the one-timer. Pad save. Easy play for DeGrood. Jerry near the half wall, and we'll get a whistle. Minute 12 second period. 50 seconds left on the St. Thomas power play. Tied at 1. And we're going to get a penalty here on the Cadets. So 50 seconds of 4-on-4s. Interference is called on Ray Christie. And then will be a minute 10 power play for Edina. So teams parading to the box a bit here in the second period. Still no power play goals. Game tied at 1. Minute 12 remaining in the second period. So we'll go 4-on-4. The draw in the offensive zone for Edina. It's Ben Copeland against Josh Hallam. Copeland wins it cleanly back to Mickelson. Over for Tabor. His shot turned aside by Capezza. Loose and picked up by Copeland. Now in the corner, it's Walker. 1 minute remaining in the second period. 35 seconds remaining of 4-on-4. It is Stucker for St. Thomas. Couldn't clear. Walker on the doorstep. Pad save made by Capezza. As now picked up by Foley for the Cadets. He'll get it to Hallam out of the zone. It deflects into the penalty box off the stick of Holmes, and we get a stoppage. 39 seconds remaining here in the second period, tied at 1. 17 seconds before Edina will get an abbreviated power play of a minute 10. Face-off coming right at center ice. Billy Jerry for St. Thomas against Ben Copeland. Won by the Hornets. It is Tabor. Back for Mickelson. Tabor with the Edina penalty about to expire. Mickelson lost the handle. Smallage has it for St. Thomas. Taken away, though, by Copeland. Sharp angle shot off the shoulder of Capezza. May have deflected off the post. Edina on the power play now for a minute 10 as their penalty expires. It is cleared by Stucker. He can do that now shorthanded. No icing. Smallage jumps on it at the blue line. Plays it back in. Just 5 seconds left now in the second period. And that is going to take us to the second intermission. Big hit at the buzzer there by Jason Smallage as he sent Peter Tabor to the ice. Official saying, no, that was clean. Either way, it's going to take us to the second intermission. St. Thomas Academy and Edina tied at 1. Captains getting together there a little bit, discussing that hit that came at the buzzer, Dornbach and Jerry. But it looks like no harm, no foul. Don't believe we're going to see any penalty called on St. Thomas Academy. There will be 48 seconds of power play time for Edina when we start the third period, as this game tied at 1 between the Cadets and the Hornets after 2. Edina out shooting St. Thomas 20-18. So saw quite a few power plays, but no goals in period number 2. We're going to step away for another 10-15 minutes here, come back with the third period from Ritter Arena in Minneapolis. Again, you are watching the 2015 Schwan Cup Boys Gold Division, streaming live on nscsports.org. And we'll be back with the third period in just a little bit. Dan Flanagan back with you here on the campus of the University of Minnesota, Ritter Arena here in Minneapolis. Tied at 1 after 2 periods between St. Thomas Academy and Edina. Last game of day 1, the 2015 Schwan Cup Boys Gold Division on nscsports.org. Edina, though, will have a golden opportunity to take that lead as we begin the third period. They will have 48 seconds of 5-on-3. Mentioned before we went away in the second period that Jason Smallage of St. Thomas had a hit at the buzzer, a hard hit on Peter Tabor. He did pick up an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for that hit. So he goes to the box, and it will be 48 seconds of 5-on-3 for the Hornets. As Edina right now 0 of 3 on power plays, St. Thomas Academy 0 for 2. 10 shots for the Cadets in that second period, 2-period total of 18. 8 for Edina, 2-period total of 20. No goals in that second period. Rob Christie scored for the Cadets at 1:47 of the first from Jake Hardy and Smallage. Sam Walker at 15:32 of the first for Edina from Ben Copeland. So 5-on-3 Hornets for the first 48 seconds of this third period. Game tied at 1. An important draw is won by Edina. Played back to Clayton Phillips. They'll try to get on the rush. It is Shearer up the right wing, dumping it behind the goal as he should have some open ice here. Played to the point now for Dornbach. It is Copeland down low for Walker, trying to get away in the corner. Played now underneath. Walker trying to center across for Phillips, and he went hard into Capezza, who stayed down on the ice for a while. Looked like an inadvertent hit, but also dislodged the net just a little bit. As again, that net has come off its moorings, that particular one on the left side of the rink from here, quite a bit. Official gets it back in place. Edina going right to left in green here in this third period. And an issue there, too, with the scoreboard. The timers on the penalties didn't start. The 29 seconds came off of the game clock, but they're going to have to reset that. It should be now 19 seconds of 5-on-3 left for the Hornets. 19 seconds on that penalty for Ray Christie. And then Jason Smallage serving. Actually, they did not call Smallage, excuse me. That was Billy Jerry that got the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, so he's in the box. 5-on-3. It's Dornbach at the blue line. Looking in front, Walker plays it to Copeland. Shot saved by Capezza, and he was able to freeze it just long enough. Draws the whistle as he got it in his glove. 9 seconds left now on the penalty to Ray Christie. And still have a minute 19 on that unsportsmanlike from Jerry. Draw one by St. Thomas. They can kill off most of the rest of this penalty now as Stucker gives chase, taken away by Walker. Christie back on the ice. It's a 5-on-4 for another minute 6. Dornbach at the blue line. Plays it to Phillips. Back to Dornbach. One-timer deflected just wide. Walker gives chase for the Hornets. They've had more pressure on their power plays, but no special teams goals yet. Copeland to Dornbach holds it in. Plays it past Walker. Copeland picks it up again. Dornbach holds it in. Phillips wants it, gets it. One-timer blocked. Walker couldn't control it. Smallage couldn't clear as Phillips holds it in. Plays it to the corner for Shearer. Shearer behind the goal, 35 seconds left on the Jerry penalty. Phillips at the blue line. Shot goes wide, and it's frozen by Capezza off the carom as it hit behind him. 15:28 left in the third period. 27 seconds left of power play time for Edina. They opened with 48 seconds of 5-on-3. Have not been able to get the go-ahead goal in. Have not gotten an official shot away. They do win the draw back to Luke Johnson. Johnson playing it toward the corner, picked up by Lewis Crosby. He gets tied up by Holmes. Smallage will play it around for Foley. Foley able to clear it back, picked up by Luke Johnson. Cadets 10 seconds away from killing off this 5-on-3. Tucker, though, does enter the zone. And the shot goes high and wide from Jungles as he came in from behind. Mickelson, St. Thomas now at full strength. Jerry back on the ice. Mickelson shot, deflected, loose in front, and Smallage comes away with it. Over 2 minutes into this third period, still tied at 1. Great penalty kill by St. Thomas. Now Jerry out of the box, gets the shot, but it's squeezed by DeGrood from a sharp angle. Got it between the pads, and we stay tied at 1. First official shot of the third period. As with that 2 minutes with at least a man advantage, 48 seconds of 5-on-3. Edina did not get a shot away. Or actually, they did get 2, excuse me. Now up on the board, they're out shooting St. Thomas 22-19. Jack Graveline draws for the Cadets. It's won by Edina over to Mickelson. Hornets have had the edge on draws slightly here tonight. Held in momentarily by Stucker. It's played around now to Osterreich. Osterreich losing it to Rob Christie. His shot blocked, staying with it, blocked again, and it comes to the corner. Osterreich is the net coming off now behind DeGrood, and we'll get a stoppage to stabilize that. 14:24 remaining in this third period. Both teams scored in the first period. We've been stuck on that since the opening frame, tied at 1. It's been a defensive battle here. St. Thomas Academy and Edina, both teams have had power play opportunities, unable to cash in. Edina rushing it up now with Shearer. Copeland in the center. Soft shot, partially blocked and then turned aside by Capezza. We get a whistle now as Jerry was trying to come out with it. And I think we're going to get another penalty on the Cadets. We'll get a cross check as it's going to go against Robbie Stucker. So another power play for Edina, as they are 0 of 4 with the man advantage thus far. But they'll get a fifth crack at it here as Stucker goes for interference at 2:48 of this third period. Sam Walker draws for Edina against Billy Jerry. Walker gets tied up by Smallage. He's unable to clear. Initially, Dornbach, though, lost it to Ray Christie. Jerry into the zone as Dornbach had lost his stick, but back to recover was Phillips. Take it away, and now Shearer up the right wing for the Hornets. Shearer into the offensive zone, trying to get around Sjogren. Plays it opposite side. To the point for Walker. Phillips couldn't get much on the shot. Opposite corner picked up by Copeland. Takes a check from Smallage. Behind the net, it's Walker. Walker to the opposite wall. Plays it down low now for Shearer. Walker, 40 seconds into the power play, to the point for Phillips. He couldn't hold it in the zone. Edina will have to exit. Dornbach went in early. Shearer hadn't yet cleared the zone, so it's offsides against the Hornets. 13:23 remaining in this third period. Game tied at 1. Edina on their fifth power play of the night, but they have yet to score with the advantage. 1:11 left in this 5-on-4 situation. Lewis Crosby draws against Chase Foley. Wins it for Edina. Now it's Jungles for the Hornets along the half wall. Right side, Jungles down low for Crosby. Back to Jungles at the point. It is Luke Johnson. Shot knocked down in front and held by Capezza as he makes yet another save. Vinny Capezza, the backup goaltender for the Cadets on the year. Standing tall here tonight, just a junior at 5'10". 55 seconds left in the penalty, 13:07 third period. St. Thomas wins the draw. Holmes will play it around and out. Foley trying to get there, grabs it at center ice. Foley into the offensive zone for St. Thomas, knocked down by Luke Johnson. Picked up by Jungles. He'll get it over for Tucker. Skated out now, Crosby. Over for Mickelson up the right wing, trying to make a move. Lost it to Holmes, steered aside by Capezza, and sent out by Hallam. Back into the Edina zone, not much doing on this power play for the Hornets. Johnson behind his goal, just 20 seconds left with the advantage. Plays it over to Copeland. Copeland up the right wing. He'll try a stop-and-go move on Hardy. Get it over to Dornbach, into the zone for Walker. Walker down low to Dornbach. Centers off Capezza. Rebound just eluding Shearer that time, and then it's skated out by Rob Christie. St. Thomas Academy back at full strength. They have killed off 5 shorthanded situations. Edina trying to get back on the rush with Copeland. Into the offensive zone for Shearer. Shearer gets tied up by Graveline, and now St. Thomas the other way. Rob Christie looking for support. Christie trying to thread the needle to Graveline, but it's sent away by Walker. And now Dornbach up the right wing for Edina. Dornbach watched by Smallage. Sharp angle shot goes up into the netting. And we'll get a whistle with 44 remaining in this third period. St. Thomas Academy and Edina tied at 1. The Hornets out shooting the Cadets 24-19. Ryan Moon draws for Edina against St. Thomas's Billy Jerry. Jerry wins it for the Cadets over to Sjogren. He'll play it to Ray Christie, and now Jerry losing it though to Mickelson. Up the right side, Shoemaker. Steered aside by Capezza. Smallage on it, lost it to Moon. Moon in the corner, down low. It's picked up by Stucker for St. Thomas. He'll get it ahead to Ray Christie, trying to clear the zone. Plays it back to Stucker. Stucker now over to Smallage. Smallage looking for Ray Christie. Deflects it in toward the goal. DeGrood trying to freeze it, cannot. Christie in the corner, though, knifed away by Mickelson and picked up by Stucker for St. Thomas in neutral ice. Deflected again by Ray Christie, and DeGrood will freeze this one with Jerry bearing down. Nearly 7 minutes into this third period. St. Thomas Academy and Edina tied at 1 with 11:01 to play. We'll get a face-off to the right of Edina goalkeeper Charlie DeGrood. Josh Hallam taking the draw for St. Thomas against Edina's Casey Dornbach. It goes right in on DeGrood off the draw, but again, he's able to cover up, and we'll get another face-off in the Edina zone. Right back at it, Hallam and Dornbach. This one won by Edina, back to Luke Johnson. He'll play it over for Phillips. Trying to get out of the zone was Tucker, got tied up, though, by Holmes. Now it does clear the zone, picked up by Stucker for the Cadets. Stucker ahead for Foley. Foley weaving through ahead to Hallam. Trying to separate. DeGrood plays it behind the goal. Lost it momentarily to Dolan. At the point, Stucker trying to make a move. Holds it in the zone. Foley into the corner. Watched by Johnson. Dolan gets tied up by Dornbach. Back out for Stucker. Right point. Dumps it in. Deflected by Foley, but holding his position, Charlie DeGrood covers up once again. Now St. Thomas Academy getting some pressure, but still tied at 1, 10-18 remaining in this third period. Edina's gone 0 of 5 on power plays. St. Thomas 0 for 2. The Cadets draw with Ray Christie against Ben Copeland, won by the Hornets again. As Tabor tries to clear the zone, Jerry, though, holds it in. Tabor behind his goal, plays it to Shearer. Shearer absorbs a hit by Jerry, gets it ahead for Copeland. Copeland into the offensive zone, centers, but couldn't connect with Walker. Right back on the puck, gets tied up by Matsui. Smallage will clear it for St. Thomas Academy, and Tabor back for Edina. Sent ahead by Mickelson, by everybody. Icing, though, waved off as Copeland was in. Jerry picks up the centering play for St. Thomas, gets it to Ray Christie. Christie has it knocked away by Tabor. Played across for Walker. Back to Mickelson. And now Tabor into the neutral zone has Copeland. Copeland for Shearer. Shot off the shoulder of Capezza. Just got a piece of that one as it surprised him a bit. Jerry grabs it for St. Thomas. We stay tied at 1. Drop back for Jerry. Holds the zone. Shot deflected wide. Matsui on it for the Cadets. Dumps it down low, but St. Thomas changing. So Mickelson will play it for Edina, ahead to Malmquist. Malmquist losing it to Graveline. Hardy, big shot, Rob Christie over the top of the goal. He scored for St. Thomas a minute 47 into the game. Tied at 1 now, as the other way it's Jungles. And his shot stopped by Capezza from a sharp angle. 24 saves now for Vinny Capezza, as Edina has outshot St. Thomas 25-20. But we stay tied at 1, nearly midway through this third period, 8:50 remaining. Dan Flanagan with you here from Ritter Arena. Winner of this game plays Minnetonka tomorrow night in the semifinals. Loser heads to the consolation bracket against Centennial. Dornbach draws against Foley. And behind the goal, Smallage has it for St. Thomas in white. Dolan picks it up for the Cadets up the left wing. Losing it, though, to Tucker. And then sent back in the direction of Holmes. Plays it back into the Edina zone. On it is Phillips. Phillips behind his goal. Pass picked off by Hallam. Josh Hallam in the corner trying to center it. And probing was Foley, but hugging the post to Grood. Freezes once again. And we'll get a face-off in the Edina zone. 8:21 remaining third period. Tied at 1. The draw will come to the right of DeGrood. Ben Copeland takes it for Edina. Ray Christie on it for St. Thomas. Christie wins it right back to Jerry. Shot, though, partially blocked. Goes opposite side. Holmes will hold the zone. Christie throws a hit on Tabor. He's able to get it across, however. Shearer has to absorb a hit from Smallage, but plays it to Walker, and now Copeland up the left wing. Copeland had it deflected by Holmes. Walker trying to get it behind the goal. Holmes on it, however, plays it ahead to Matsui. And now Ray Christie back into neutral ice. Separated from it by Mickelson. Held in by Holmes. Sent it right back, but Mickelson has it for Edina. St. Thomas changes. Mickelson able to make a move on Holmes. Get into the corner. Centering play. Just eluded Shearer. And then opposite side, it's steered out by Ray Christie. Walker back for Edina with 7:35 remaining in the third period, tied at 1. Held by Tabor. Across for Walker. Edina trying to get on the rush now. Copeland up the right side. Taken away by Hardy. Into the zone, Rob Christie. 1 against 2. Christie tries to peel back, lost the handle. Now gets back on it in neutral ice. He'll dump it in. DeGrood behind his goal, sets it up for Phillips. Phillips ahead for Shearer. Lost now to Graveline. Graveline to backhander. Couldn't get much on it. Rob Christie gives chase in the corner, tied up by Tabor. Shoemaker on it for Edina, but it's held in momentarily by Stucker. Now lugged out by Tabor. He'll get it back into the St. Thomas zone. Stucker has it behind his goal for the Cadets. 6:45 remaining third period. Stretch pass for Rob Christie. He runs into Johnson and dumps it in. DeGrood sets it up for Phillips as both teams change. Phillips up the right wing, knocked back to Luke Johnson. He'll hold for Edina. And saw players come together in neutral ice. We're going to get a penalty here, I believe, on St. Thomas Academy. Or maybe they'll send both players here. And we're going to get some 4-on-4 time. As penalties assessed to Josh Hallam of St. Thomas Academy, Clayton Phillips of Edina. And with 6:30 remaining here in the third period, we're going to get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 hockey. Coincidental minors, or rather they do just go 5-on-5, excuse me there. They just send them both to the box. Shot by Dornbach. It is gloved by Capezza. Big save. So Dornbach, or rather hooking is called there on St. Thomas's Hallam, and then holding called on Phillips for Edina. Coincidental minors, we stay 5-on-5 after Capezza's big glove save. We get a whistle off the draw. And we'll get another face-off. They'll do it again here. 6:16 remaining in the third period. 1-1 score. Dornbach against Jerry on the draw. Won by St. Thomas's Jerry. Holmes plays it to Matsui. Held in, though, by Mickelson. And it was a hand pass as he sent it ahead to Crosby. So the face-off will come into the Edina zone after the hand pass whistled. 6:08 remaining in this third period, tied at 1. We're going to draw to the left of Edina goalkeeper Charlie DeGrood. Peyton Matsui for St. Thomas. Casey Dornbach for Edina. Dornbach wins it back to Tabor across from Mickelson. Off of Crosby. Held in by Ray Christie, but right back on it, Ben Tucker for Edina. Up the left wing now, it is Crosby into the zone. Centering play near the post. Capezza just able to secure that one as it came in from parallel to the keeper there. Under 6 minutes remaining in regulation. 5:50 left in this third period, tied at 1. We'll get a face-off in the St. Thomas zone. as Ben Copeland draws against Chase Foley. Tied up in the circle. Walker trying to get there for Edina, but it comes free, and now St. Thomas with it. Up the right side, it's Graveline. Couldn't connect on the pass. Shearer picks it up for the Hornets. Across for Mickelson. Copeland the other way, makes a move. Sends it to the red line. Copeland gets it back from Shearer. Trying to get through traffic. Knocked away by Hardy. And now playing it forward was Foley behind the goal. Teed up for Pugh. And sent over now for Walker. Back to Johnson. Pugh ahead for Shearer. Shearer opposite side. It's Walker into the zone. He scored Edina's goal. Makes a move to the middle, but has it knocked away by Graveline. Picked up by Foley. Held in, though. The shot just over the top of the goal by Luke Johnson. Walker on it at the half wall. Dumps it in, looking for Copeland. Walker battling in the corner with Hardy. And comes free finally to Sjogren for St. Thomas. 4:44 remaining in this third period. Tied at 1. Skied out of the zone by the Cadets. Knocked down by Pugh. He'll go right back the other way for Edina. Pugh into the offensive zone. Long shot steered aside by Capezza. Picked up by Sjogren. And he'll get it into the neutral zone. Too far for Dolan. Tabor's pass, though, deflected by Dolan. Rob Christie sends it right back in. DeGrood will set it up for Mickelson. Mickelson makes a move around Dolan. Played to Dornbach in neutral ice. Ahead now for Tucker. Big shot goes wide from the wall. Held in, though, by Tabor. Long shot knocked down off the stick of Mickelson by Capezza. Tucker stays with it. Back out to Mickelson. Across for Tabor. His shot blocked as Smallage got a piece of it. Now Dornbach in the corner. Tucker and he battle for it with Smallage. Comes back out, and St. Thomas gets control now with Hugh Burke. He'll get it out, and back for it Mickelson of Edina. Behind his goal. Mickelson plays it across for Tabor. Ahead now to Crosby. Crosby up the left wing. Into the corner, makes a move behind the goal. Thought about a wraparound, but lost it to Matsui. 3:20 left in regulation, tied at 1. Holmes ahead for Ray Christie. Matsui, pass was behind him, and it's picked up by Pugh ahead for Shearer. Shearer finds some open ice. Into the zone for Walker. Shot comes through, but it's knocked down again by Capezza. He's able to freeze. Now 29 saves for Vinny Capezza, the backup goalkeeper. Edina has dominated the shots here in the third period, out shooting St. Thomas 30-20. 10-2 for the period, but still no goals in this third frame as we stay tied at 1. Ben Copeland draws against Billy Jerry. Edina wins it behind the net. Sam Walker the wraparound. Capezza holding the post. He freezes once again. Sam Walker, who scored in the first period, making a power move to the net. Ended up on his back, but couldn't get it by Capezza. And we'll get another face-off in the St. Thomas zone with 3 minutes to play. In regulation, Copeland draws against Jerry. Edina's dominated the draw. Shearer, another shot, and another save by Capezza. May have been headed wide, but 32 shots on goal now for Edina, 12 in this period. They have only gotten one by Vinny Capezza. Copeland and Jerry again. It gets tied up, and St. Thomas takes it with Holmes. Ray Christie up the right wing. And he collided with Johnson. We get a whistle. 2:50 to play in this third period as it deflected out of play on the near side. Only 2 shots for St. Thomas in this third period, outshot 12-2. Chase Foley against Casey Dornbach. St. Thomas wins it back to Smallage. It's Holmes playing it in. DeGrood behind his goal, trying to tee it up for Johnson. He gets tied up, though, by Graveline and Hardy. In the corner, Phillips is able to steer it across for Tucker. Tucker taken away by Holmes, who pinches in. Hardy for Foley, just wide of the goal. From the slot, it's held in by Smallage. Now behind the net, it's Hardy trying to get it to Foley. It comes near the goal, and DeGrood will get a glove on it. hold for a face-off with 2:19 left in regulation, still tied at 1. Both goals coming in the first period. Edina has had 5 power plays, but has been unable to cash in. They'll have Ben Copeland on the face-off again against St. Thomas's Josh Hallam. Edina wins another draw as Johnson plays it across for Phillips. Walker trying to get it out, lost it though to Hallam. Couldn't connect with Hardy, it would have been a hand pass. And now Johnson gets it out to Shearer. Shearer dumping it in for the Hornets. Capezza rims it around as Graveline couldn't connect with Foley. Shearer back on it, and the shot deflected over the top of the goal. Loose in front, and gloved by Capezza. Vinny Capezza deflected back to him after the initial shot, and he has had that quick glove here tonight. 1:52 remaining here in regulation, tied at 1, mostly due to the effort of the St. Thomas goaltender. Billy Jerry draws for the Cadets against Casey Dornbach. The two captains, Jerry wins it back for Stucker. Held in, though, by Crosby. Crosby gets it to Dornbach, centers. Capezza able to get in the way of that and hold it near the post. We'll get another face-off in the St. Thomas zone with 1:41 to go. Face-off will come to the left of Capezza. Billy Jerry against Casey Dornbach once again. They get set. Tie up in the circle. St. Thomas able to win this one as Holmes plays it to Matsui. Into the neutral zone for Ray Christie. He'll play it in deep. Back is Tabor for the Hornets. Absorbs a hit from Christie. Gets it to Tucker. Ray Christie, though, back on it. Centers for Matsui. His shot goes wide. Matsui's had a couple chances in the slot. Hasn't been able to score. Smallage trying to hold it in, but it comes across the line. Tabor now for Tucker. Tucker will play it in off the boards. Give chase in the corner for Edina. He lost an edge. Goes down. It's picked up by Dornbach. And now Tucker ties up with Holmes. Coming away with it, though, Dornbach turns. It's blocked in front by Smallage. Played back out. Mickelson, a shot blocked by Smallage. Jerry with less than a minute left in the third period. And now it's lugged out by Holmes. 4-on-2. Holmes drops it. Matsui across for Jerry. Deflected. Ray Christie. And DeGroote didn't see it, but it was in his equipment. Ray Christie getting a piece of that. Charlie DeGroote was looking behind him. But in position, we stay tied with 44 seconds left in regulation now. Tied at 1. Edina out shooting St. Thomas 32-21. Hallam draws against Copeland. Edina wins it to Luke Johnson. Played across for Phillips. Short pass ahead to Walker. Walker rushes it in, playing it behind the goal. Copeland gets it to Walker. Tied up momentarily by Stucker. Back to the point. Johnson across. Phillips, his shot goes wide. Walker trying to play it in. Copeland with 19 seconds left. Copeland, game tied at 1, loses it to Hardy. See if the Cadets have one more rush in him. Hardy will dump it in. 10 seconds left in regulation. Tied up behind. Hallam now in the corner. And it appears we are going to end regulation tied at 1. We will. So we will go to overtime here at Ritter Arena. Tied at 1 between St. Thomas Academy and Edina. A brief 2-minute stoppage. And then we will play the sudden death overtime period. Edina out shooting St. Thomas Academy 12-3 in that third period, 32-21 for the game. But Vinny Capezza, the backup goaltender for the Cadets, with 31 saves. And we are tied at 1 heading into overtime. Again, Edina has had 5 power plays tonight, including 48 seconds of 5-on-3 at the beginning of the third period, but they are 0 of 5 with the man advantage. St. Thomas Academy 0 for 2. The Cadets scored 1:47 into the game. It was Rob Christie, his third of the year from Jake Hardy and Jason Smallage. Edina would answer after extended pressure at the 15:32 mark of the first period. Sam Walker getting his 7th of the year from Ben Copeland. And we've had some chances since, but nothing past the goaltenders. As we go into overtime here at Ritter Arena, the final first-round matchup here of the 2015 Schwan Cup. Dan Flanagan with you. This boys gold division, St. Thomas Academy won it last year. Edina has won it in the past. Winner of this game gets Minnetonka tomorrow night at 7:30. Minnetonka beat Centennial 3-2 earlier. Also have seen Hill Murray defeat Wayzata 7-1, and Eden Prairie beat Burnsville 2-0. Wayzata and Burnsville will play tomorrow at noon. Centennial against the loser of this game at 2:30. Then at 5, it'll be Hill Murray and Eden Prairie. Minnetonka and the winner of this game at 7:30. 8 minutes sudden death overtime here. As the draw won by Edina, the Hornets in green. Playing it behind the goal is Jerry for the Cadets. As we get this overtime underway, Jerry up the right side dumps it in. Behind the goal is Phillips on it for Edina. Ray Christie runs into him. Trying to get control is Copeland. And he'll stretch it ahead for Shearer. Smallage, though, takes it away for the Cadets. Ray Christie can't connect with Jerry. Taken right back by Shearer into the offensive zone. Shearer drops it back for Copeland, who plays it behind the goal. Matsui ties up with Walker. Walker able to play it behind. Shearer lets it go for Copeland. Copeland watched by Ray Christie. Takes a hit from Holmes. Holmes, it deflects up the board, staying in play. Walker will go back to the point for Johnson, and his shot gloved by Capezza. We'll get a face-off in the Cadet zone. 55 seconds into this overtime. Tied at 1. Capezza's had a good glove here tonight. Catching a lot of those shots clean. Face-off will come to his left. As it will be Casey Dornbach for the Hornets. Chase Foley for the Cadets. Dornbach wins it, and his shot just shouldered aside by Capezza as it went just wide of the goal. Now staying on it is Crosby. Crosby for Dornbach has space, makes a move, trying to stuff it in, he could not. And it comes back to the corner for Tucker. 2 golden opportunities for the Edina captain. Fired wide by Mickelson. Edina getting the better of the pressure here early. Tabor down low for Dornbach. He gets tied up, and it's played to Hallam. Now back for Sjogren. Sjogren to Hallam as St. Thomas trying to get it out of their defensive zone, get a change. It's over now to Stucker. Stucker will bank it off the boards just by Hardy, and it comes too far for an icing. We'll get a face-off back in the St. Thomas zone. 6:19 left in this overtime period. Casey Dornbach, a couple of golden opportunities, just couldn't find the net, and we stay tied at 1. Face off to the right of the St. Thomas keeper, Capezza. It's Copeland against Jerry. Draw one back to Phillips for the Hornets. His shot blocked by Matsui. Holds it in. Walker pounces on it, but it's stopped again by Capezza. Vinny Capezza gets a pat on the head from Jason Smallage. He is the only reason Edina's not in the semifinals. They have controlled play since the second period. Another big save there, his 33rd of the night. The draw is Smallage shot it off the side of his own goal. St. Thomas will get it back out. Coming back for it is Phillips as he plays it across for Johnson. Ahead to Shearer at center ice. Dumps it in. He was past the red line, so no icing. Holmes plays it to Smallage. St. Thomas trying to get some kind of offensive pressure. Couldn't connect with Matsui, but now Ray Christie with the takeaway. Christie trying to drop it back for Matsui, but Copeland intercepted and plays it back into his offensive zone. Capezza's clear, intercepted by Walker. His slapper knocked down by Capezza. Rebound, Shearer. It's blocked in front by Holmes. Back to the blue line, Johnson. Walker got a piece of his shot on the way. It deflects behind the goal to Smallage. Smallage with 5:20 left in overtime, tied at 1. Shearer trying to hold the zone. Walker in the corner has it taken away by Smallage. Played across, Ray Christie sees he has some space. Pass for Jerry. Jerry on the rush, trying to go ahead for Hardy. Pass out of his reach. St. Thomas changes behind Jake Hardy, who assisted on their goal. Hardy gets tied up by Phillips, plays it to the corner. Hardy looking to the point, but it's intercepted by Tucker. Ben Tucker the other way. Trying to get around Stucker. He does as Stucker fell down. Sharp angle shot knocked down by Capezza. And on it for St. Thomas is Hardy. He loses it, though, to Dornbach. Dornbach has it near the blue line for the Hornets. Peeling back to the half wall. Soft shot steered aside by Capezza. He got tangled up with Tucker. Jumping on it was Graveline for St. Thomas. His pass out of the reach of Rob Christie. It was deflected, so no icing. Mickelson across for Tabor. Tabor goes ahead now to Crosby. Crosby into the zone with 4:20 left in overtime. He gets free from Stucker. Tripped up by Sjogren. No whistle. Tucker back to the blue line for Tabor. His shot goes wide. Tucker in the corner. Tied at 1 here in overtime. It's Mickelson for Edina. Soft shot knocked down by Rob Christie. Dornbach trying to stick with it, but Rob Christie comes up with it for the Cadets. He'll play it over now to Graveline, and Dolan trying to stay out of the zone fell down, so the Cadets are offside. 3:57 left in this overtime period, tied at 1. Sudden death overtime. Haven't had a goal since period number 1. Edina out shooting St. Thomas 37-21. They're out shooting them 5-0 here in this overtime period. Phillips will golf it in just wide of the goal for Edina. Back on it is Holmes for the Cadets. Lost it, though, to Shearer in the corner. Edina's been quicker to loose pucks. Ray Christie trying to clear the zone. Gets tied up by Shearer. Picked up at center ice by Johnson. Sent right back in, and Capezza will hold it. We'll get a face-off to his left. 3:35 left in this overtime session, tied at 1. 36 saves for St. Thomas goaltender Vinny Capezza. Ben Copeland on the draw against Billy Jerry. Jerry wins it back for St. Thomas to Holmes. He'll play it around the boards for Matsui. Matsui gets it out into neutral ice. Phillips on it for the Hornets across to Johnson. Johnson ahead looking for Shearer. It's by him and all the way down for icing. And we'll get our first face-off in the Edina zone in a while. 3:20 left in overtime, tied at 1. Rob Christie the goal for St. Thomas Academy. Sam Walker for Edina. Billy Jerry, the Cadets' leading scorer on the season. On the face-off to the right of DeGroot against Dornbach. Dornbach wins it for Edina, back to Johnson. He's able to rim it around. Smallage holds it in momentarily, but Phillips back on it for Edina. Johnson plays it to him. Phillips trying to get away from Jerry. He does, and now we'll skate it up ice. To the center line for Crosby, tied up by Rob Christie. Rather, Ray Christie. He gets it over to Smallage. Dumped in, controlled by Phillips. Johnson ahead for Crosby. Dornbach gets out of his way. Crosby into the zone, trying to connect with Tucker, but getting a stick on it was Hardy. Hardy trying to go the other way for the Cadets. His pass intercepted by Dornbach. Gets the shot away, but it's deflected wide off the stick of Stucker. To the blue line, Johnson holds it in. Shot blocked by Stucker again. Tucker had it. His shot blocked by Stucker. Robbie Stucker everywhere right now. Jerry blocks that shot from the blue line as Crosby tries to get it to Dornbach, but Sjogren intercepts. And he'll clear it out of the zone, up the boards, all the way down. That will be icing. And we'll get a face-off in the St. Thomas zone with 2:14 left in this sudden death overtime, tied at 1. Of course, this is a tournament, so we're not having ties. We'll keep going here with these 8-minute overtimes until someone can get it by one of these goaltenders who have both been outstanding tonight. Hallam wins the draw for St. Thomas. Held in at the line by Mickelson. His shot goes wide. Foley on it for the Cadets. Able to tap it to Hallam. He's got Hardy on the other side. Can't find him as Tabor deflected the pass. Hallam gets it back and sends it right back to Tabor. His pass behind Walker, but he stays with it at center ice. Walker drops it back, and Copeland's shot steered aside by Capezza. Shearer from a sharp angle sends it wide. Mickelson holding it in. Down low for Copeland. Copeland makes a move to the middle. Walker behind the goal, trying to center. And Capezza again able to get into position on his left post, knock it down. We'll get a face-off in the Cadet zone with 1:39 left in overtime. Both teams will send out a new 5. 37 saves now for Vinny Capezza of St. Thomas. Sam Walker the only man to beat him. Lewis Crosby draws for the Hornets against Billy Jerry. Jerry wins it back to Sjogren for the Cadets, across to Stucker. Stucker trying to get by Tucker. He plays it ahead for Jerry, right back to Stucker into the offensive zone. Stucker up the wall, goes behind, centers for Dolan, but he couldn't get a clean shot away, and now Dornbach the other way for Edina. Has some room. Looking for Crosby, he makes a move but lost the handle. Comes opposite side, Tucker to the blue line for Phillips. Phillips soft shot deflected, and Capezza stuck the pad out. It changed direction on that soft shot. Another dangerous one for Edina, but off the toe of Vinny Capezza. And we stayed tied with 1:07 left in overtime. They put the net back on its moorings. And we'll get a timeout now taken by St. Thomas Academy. The timeout with 1:07 remaining in this overtime period. We'll have a face-off coming up in the cadet zone. Edina out shooting St. Thomas 39-21, 19-3 since the end of the second period, including 7-0 here in this overtime session. So it's been all Hornets in the third period in overtime after the game was pretty even early. But Vinny Capezza has been the difference, the St. Thomas Academy goaltender with 38 saves here tonight. Seeing if he can steal a win for his team, the defending champions of this gold division. Again, the winner gets Minnetonka tomorrow night in the semifinals at 7:30. The Skippers defeated Centennial earlier today, 3-2. The face-off will be coming to the right of Capezza in the St. Thomas zone, as both teams come out of that timeout that the Cadets took. Ben Copeland will be on the draw for Edina. It'll be Billy Jerry for St. Thomas Academy. Tied up, St. Thomas wins it back to Smallage. Stucker plays it across for Ray Christie. 1 minute left in this overtime as Shearer dumps it in off the official. Ray Christie on it for the Cadets, trying to connect with Matsui on the opposite side. Matsui chases it down to avoid icing. Now looking for support, he plays it back to Smallage. Soft shot goes just wide of the goal. And Phillips on it for Edina. 40 seconds left in the overtime. It's ahead to Walker. Walker has a step. Tied up now by Stucker from behind. Walker trying to stick with it in the corner. He goes down to the ice. Jerry with support. Phillips, though, holds it in. Shot off the glove of Capezza. Copeland on it for Edina with 25 seconds left in the overtime. Shot blocked now off the stick of Johnson. Jerry has it. Walker and Copeland in the corner working against Stucker. Copeland comes out with it. He'll play it out for Phillips. Shot blocked by Matsui. Phillips gets back on it. 10 seconds left in the overtime. Johnson trying to get it through. It was steered aside by Stucker. And he'll skate it up the wing, send it down, and we'll get an icing with just tenths of a second left in this overtime. 1/10 of a second to be exact. We're going to head to overtime number 2 here at Ritter Arena. Face off to the left of Capezza, but just a formality. Drop the puck, go back to the benches once again. Or no, we're going shootout here. Okay, so go shootout here. I thought we might be going another overtime. We're going shootout after the 8-minute overtime. That's probably preferable for everybody who would be playing tomorrow. That would get pretty long. So we do go shootout. So after the overtime, we'll get a 1-minute break here. And teams will pick their skaters for the shootout. Through the 3 periods in overtime, Edina out-shooting St. Thomas Academy 40-21. They outshot them 9-0 in that overtime period. 39 saves for Vinny Capezza of St. Thomas, 20 for Charlie DeGrood of Edina. DeGrood not tested much down the stretch, just 3 shots for St. Thomas in the third period, none in that 8-minute overtime. So see if DeGrood can stay sharp here in the shootout. Regardless of what happens, though, I have to give a tip of the hat to Capezza, as he has certainly gotten St. Thomas Academy to this point and getting back slaps all around at his bench. So we will begin the shootout here to see who advances to the semifinals to play Minnetonka tomorrow. Billy Jerry talking to the official at center ice, one of the St. Thomas captains. St. Thomas is designated as the home team for this game. We'll have Capezza set up on the goal to my left. Edina will be shooting first. And the first shooter for the Hornets will be Sam Walker. Walker scored Edina's goal at 15:32 of the first period. So he's the only Hornet that's gotten one by Capezza tonight, despite their 40 shots on goal. And see if he can do it once again in a shootout setting. So first shooter, Walker, goes down to the left side, making a move to his backhand. He's stopped by Capezza. Vinny Capezza once again cutting down the angle. He got a stick on it. Walker cannot score, and now Billy Jerry will shoot first for the Cadets. Their leading scorer on the year. Jerry with 9 goals, 17 points. DeGrood on the net to my right. Jerry gets some speed. Up the left side. Stays on his forehand. The shot goes wide. DeGrood may have gotten a stick on it. So both teams denied on their first attempt. And it will be Ben Copeland shooting second for Edina. Copeland assisted on the Hornet goal. And he'll bring it up the center. Stops. Stick handles and scores. Ben Copeland patiently stopping in front of the goal. A series of moves and able to get one between the pads of Capezza. So Edina scores on their second attempt. St. Thomas trying to stay even here with Ray Christie. Christie cutting back to the right. Goes backhand, and it's stopped by DeGrood. Charlie DeGrood cutting down the post. So has not seen a lot of shots down the stretch, but a big save there. Casey Dornbach will shoot third here for the Hornets. His team up 1-0 through 2 rounds of the shootout. Dornbach makes his move with speed and puts it top shelf. Casey Dornbach wins the shootout for the Hornets. Edina will advance to tomorrow's semifinals. They win it in the shootout. So Dornbach going top shelf on Capezza. Certainly no reason for him to hang his head. 39 saves in regulation. But it is a win for Edina, 2-1 in the shootout as they defeat St. Thomas Academy. They did control the game down the stretch. Edina wins it in the shootout. The shootout winner going to Ben Copeland. Casey Dornbach icing it. Charlie DeGrood making 2 saves in that shootout setting. So again, it's a 2-1 shootout victory for Edina. Congratulations to the Hornets. They advance to the Gold Cup semifinals. They will play Minnetonka tomorrow night at 7:30. St. Thomas Academy goes to the consolation bracket where they will play Centennial. So we'll give you our schedule for tomorrow. We'll again stream these games on nscsports.org at noon. It will be the first consolation game featuring Wyzetta and Burnsville. Then that St. Thomas Academy Centennial game at 2:30. The first semifinal at 5 o'clock with Hill Murray and Eden Prairie. And then Minnetonka and Edina to wrap up day 2 at 7:30. Want to thank you so much for watching us here throughout this Monday afternoon and evening. Hope you enjoyed day 1 of the Schwan Cup Boys Gold Division here from Ritter Arena on the campus of the University of Minnesota. Until next time, this is Dan Flanagan. You've been watching the 2015 Schwan Gold Cup on nscsports.org.